Oh. Okay. Lots of paper on the floor.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Everything's a little bit different. Oh. Ooh. Oh, I'm on a table. Get off the table, Stanley. It's not giving me, letting me input anything. Guess we're going this way. There's a phone in a box.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did he though?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
Stanley's
he wanted to
naughty.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
There we go.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley?
Dunno.
Its grace, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, let's do that. Because it does look interesting.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
But that's it. That's just different. You want me to do it, but you know I want to do other things. You know I want to go in there, don't you? Press that big red button. It's so inviting. Oh. Hello. Okay, let's play along. Let's play along this time. It's the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person
Tips
here
for not
either.
getting fired.
Feeling a wave of
Dogless.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Who changed that? I didn't change nothing. Righty ho. Yes. Can we get up on this table? I'm guessing the boss's office is this way, huh? Broom closet. Talk away, Stanley. Didn't even finish painting the wall. Well, there's a broom in there.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alrighty. I'm playing along. I'm being nice. I'm doing what I'm told. Oh. Oh. Plush. Executive bathroom. Let's have a look. Can't open it, huh? Typical. How come this door looks so horrible? Uh-oh. Can I open it now? Nope. It's too dark. Hello?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Really?
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
You had?
2845.
2845.
But of
Imagine that.
course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
No, he couldn't. Where is the keyboard? Is it just me, or is it extremely dark in here? Where is the keyboard? Behind the desk.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
But I don't even see a keyboard. Okay. 2845. How's that?
2845.
Yeah, I did that. 2845. Remember, press return. There you go. How's that? How's that grab you? 2845. How about that? Like that?
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself.
Well,
And
there
Stanley
you are.
got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Now, Mr. Narrator, be nice. Whoop-de-doo. If anybody's going to be whoop-de-dooing, it'll be Stanley. Okay? Let's just get that straight. That's dark. Ooh. That's too dark. Oh, yeah. Now I can go down with the big red button. Ooh, that was scary. Going too quickly.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel
Thinking for
this
myself?
now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Why does he keep doing that? Anybody hear light switches? Hello?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Mind
that read
control
Mind
facility.
Control Facility.
Escape. I like the escape one better.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his but of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Oh.
Nope, still on board with death.
Curious.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a big hole. Okay. Maybe it is escape. Do you reckon the door's still open? Mr. Narrator guy. Mr. Narrator guy. Whoops. It's a long hallway. Okay. I see what you're doing. You're controlling my mind already. Let me out. Dun 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 dun. Huh.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, yes. Why not? See, I have no choice in the matter by the looks of things. Just go to camera. Okay.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Wow.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Interesting. Cool, we get to pick a person. Ooh. So I guess we go for ourselves, isn't that it? Oh, where are we? Whoops. There we are, the second one at the bottom.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
It's true,
Had
it's true.
Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
I still
Was
am.
this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah.
No. He refused to believe it.
No, I believe it, I
He
believe
couldn't
it.
accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he has.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy,
It's
or
offline.
sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
I'm gonna break it.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How's he gonna do that? Facility power. He's going to shut the power down. Shut it down. Mind control idle, awaiting input. This is pretty cool. Pick up the pieces.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power,
Yes.
he knew it was his duty,
Yes.
his obligation, to
turn
put
it
an
on.
end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Turn it back on. Isn't it? You want me to turn it on, really? Okay, let's turn it on. Game over. Basically. Ah.
Blackness
Black.
and a rising chill of uncertainty.
And redness, no.
Was it over?
Yeah, basically.
Yes. He had won.
Woohoo!
He had defeated the machine. Unshackled
Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Freedom
was mere moments away.
And yet, Even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
They're all
How had he
eaten.
been freed from the machine's grasp?
Someone turned
What
it off.
other mysteries did this strange building hold? But
Cake.
as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Can I move? Oh, I
No
can.
longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Bye.
Whatever life he lives, it will be
glorious.
his.
It's my
And
life.
that was all he
Well, I
needed to
can
know.
do what I want.
It was perhaps
do what I
the only
like.
thing worth knowing.
It's not real.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
I can't get through. Hooray!
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
Beautiful.
the feeling of liberation,
So
the immense
delighted.
possibility of the
But
new path
everything's so
before him.
slow. I could move
This
so
was
quickly
exactly the
other way.
way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I'm happy. Stanley's so happy. It's bliss. What? Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. I beat the game? Wait, what? Okay. I'm gonna go again. See what's the story. I don't know what's going on here. See you in the next episode.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
Dang it.
entered the door on his left.
Doing good. I'm a good boy. Welcome back to the Stanley Parable.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
No.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
not-
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Can I go back into the office? No, it's closed and I can't open it, right? Okay. Well, I have absolutely no idea.
Coming to a staircase,
he went down.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But you saw him. He went down the stairs and into a street. He got stuck in a corner. Huh. Fire hose. That bird's droppings?
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
No.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss,
Yes.
admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Yes,
He
yes.
might be fired for that.
Yes.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Yes.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
What's that?
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. He thought to himself, I
I'm in
suppose
a
I'll
loop.
wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Cool.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
No, come back,
And then
Stars.
perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their
That was a
dreams,
flash that
the
time.
truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Then how
Now,
come
hearing the
I'm in
voice
a loop?
speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
He'll go the other way.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
Yes, I've
I
had
wish it
enough.
to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
No, it's not going to be fine. You're going to wake up and it's all going to be the
I am
same.
Okay.
But he never woke up. Help!
Stanley began screaming.
Ah!
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. Oh, what a beautiful job.
This
for
is the
narrator.
story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Wait,
she
what?
rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh, stop.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important
I
people
do anything?
whose impressions of her
No.
would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Game over. Ah, it's gotta go in. The end is never the end. Okay. Join me in another one, if you so desire.